Yep. Got a 44 match mode on Riviera. We got a good stack of players here.
Reinforcements arrived at the
And
drop zone.
we'll look at armor from this map, from Nato side on Riviera. It's a good map to learn because we play it a lot. So you can see opening spawn. I think this is a good opening spawn. You just get one heavy tank and then your scout chopper instantly, because your tanks will not be able to see stuff over here without an air unit nearby or inf, so always get your scout. And then he's getting 3 light units. You could get like 3 light tanks. He's getting an APC because I don't know why. There's some big brain reason. Maybe it'll help kill a scout chopper if it needs to. And it might help a little bit if they town push and there's inf, maybe a little bit extra help against the inf, but you could also just get 3 light tanks and do the same thing. We're getting stuck behind the inf trucks here. Yeah, look. Waiting for everyone to get on the point here, and then we're gonna cap. Yep. Oh, support. Molly wasn't on there because he's microing in the town. It's too bad, but yeah, like, get that cap in the back of the town. It should run into this CP. And only leaving 1 unit on the back of the town to fort. That's all we need. Pop smoke. It's gonna back up. And then he'll probably move in just to get the quick cap. If it's gonna wait. That's good. The reason he waited for him to get on there so they all get TA for capping. It's 15 TA for the whole team, 5 TA each player. Scout here, because the scout is here, we can see all this stuff. There's no scout, your tanks aren't going to be able to see down there.
Your new units have arrived at the drop zone.
So yeah, this team's definitely like kind of town pushing. So we'll see a good response to that. The inf is in a very good position in the town to protect against it. Like, anything that drives in here is going to get shot at by the ATs. And the drops are in. It's all friendly drops. You can see armor is helping with the inf drops. At least on the first round or 2 of drops, that's a really good thing to take care of. Alright, now the heavy tank is moving up. He's got his AA nearby, so he can back up when air comes, and he's got vision from his scout chopper and a little vision from the infantry too. And he's just gonna shoot stuff in this area and get ranked up. And you can see he did 2 drops just to help the inf player defend, which is good. And yeah, good tank spots here. Like, here is a really good one because you can shoot all in here. You cover the front of the mansion a little bit when there's stuff there, and you cover the farm. You can, like, depending on where you're at, you can shoot like through here sometimes. And AA can just sit here, and whenever air comes, you just back up early, and you're good. That's same thing up here. Just another tank spot, slightly different area. But you see, whenever the air gets like relatively close, he backs up. He can get repairs, and the air player can't get to him. And yeah, just 1 unit here for forting, and 1 light tank in the town for forting. That's all he needs right now. Because they kind of like, I'd say they basically stopped this town push. So he doesn't need to keep sending stuff there now. Now he can just focus on this middle area. Mostly. The light tank peeking around can help slowly peck away at this.
The enemy defeated
This
your
tank's a
unit.
little bit of a runaway tank right now, so if you click an attack order on like an AA, and then, yeah. It's one of the most important things to try and micro with armor is like when you attack like an AA and they move away, your tank's gonna like chase them, so you need to pay attention to that. It's hard to focus on that all the time. Should be moving the APC over here. Probably. Backing up for repairs here. Scout's still up here. This light tank just pecking away
The last waypoint.
some of the forts. Got lots of vision from Inf and the Scout. He's gonna use the APC to fort up the town. The light.
Your units are at the coordinates now. Your unit was destroyed.
See this light probably, yeah, like kills the AA. Whenever AA is in the open, you want to prioritize AA. It's the most important thing for armor. Don't just leave them on auto attack, like killing forts or tanks. Like you really want to kill their support, first and foremost.
Avoid the attackers. That's one less anti-air unit. Your unit is dead.
Like the priority is like AA, and then you can like kill light units, and kill Inf, but AA first. Yeah, once you're like over this hill is heavy armor, you can actually get shots in here, I think. A little bit. Yeah. Surprisingly, like, good range.
Is any second now.
And this tank might be a runaway tank. It looks like it was told to kill that guy. Now he's gonna move in a little dangerously close. But once you have like a solid position here, you can start to be more aggro. You want to like kind of hem their team in, and then you're probably gonna nuke in the middle and then push the middle with light tanks. Alright, these guys are moving up, so I assume they're gonna drop TA there, maybe? Maybe not.
We can deliver your units at your request.
Yeah, see the tanks here can hit the light tank easy. And light tank down. They did get a machine gun for it though. And you're gonna want to get that tank repped, so he like keeps it back a little bit while he waits for repairs. He's not gonna just like keep it up here, because that's an easy target for air. They'll dive that for sure. And you can see he's wrecking the inf out here. Him and the sniper. Backing up, not going in too deep. You just want to get these tanks ranked up. You can start winning this like kind of back and forth armor battle. And you're just hemming them in here until they're all bunched up. You can start dropping TA in there. It's a little overextended here. And then while he moves in, then just back up. Keep backing up. Yeah. the light units are more or less a distraction at that point. He saved the heavy tank, which is what matters.
Evade and activate the flares.
And he's gonna have to call for repairs. He's moving up again.
That unit is a casualty.
And we just lost our scout because we're microing other things. You want to use this light tank here, or do you want to like chase this guy off? Chase that AA away so your air player can get in there. Like light tanks are great for just like running around and getting some AA that's kind of tucked away.
Avoid the attackers.
So got pretty lucky there dodging that. Yeah, once you have their team kind of hemmed in, drop some kind of TA. It's either going to be a nuke or a carpet, and then you get your light tanks in there. We got more light tanks ready to go in.
Command for us? You have
But yeah, we're
be ready for them.
a little softened up from that. There was no AA to protect us there.
10 minutes remaining.
We need air to dive this tank real quick so we can get the cap.
Reinforcements arrived at the drop zone.
So go for it, man. Go. We're not paying attention. And there we get it. So now we're in an interesting situation where we don't have windmill right now. We have mansion, and see what units he brings in to respond to that situation with.
Reinforcements now.
He's gonna pull the tanks back too. Once you get the cap, you can kind of preserve your units. Like anything here is gonna die almost instantly. It's too exposed. So you might as well pull it back, get ready to do something else with it later. He's just gonna get this reps. Like if you can get reps on like any armor units, like even light tanks, like it generates TA for your team, tactical aid points.
Hostile tank destroyed.
So help your support player farm TA by getting repairs on everything that you can.
Reinforcements are underway.
But also don't be afraid to sacrifice a light tank for a cap. We're gonna see here. Clutch stopping right in time and still getting the cap. And you can see like
Tanks are on the battlefield.
he sends an APC up the hill because he knows that the units that are up here are just inf. So if he can send something that can just quickly kill the inf, they get the cap a little bit quicker. Doesn't have to micro running over units as much. And they're just gonna let them decap, and then air is gonna swoop in. And the reason you let them decap is because it's a really easy recap. See if they didn't coordinate it perfectly. They should have stacked here and should have moved off, so they both could have been on. But
Where do you want us to recon?
yeah, letting an enemy like decap a point in a bad way and then getting back on it just gives you like extra TA for recapping. Basically, it's a bad move by the enemy team to do a bad decap. Yeah, heat shelling inf always good. It's like a guaranteed kill on one of the guys on the squad at least, and sometimes it has AoE and it kills more than one guy. So if you don't have an AA to shoot at with your heat shell, you might as well shoot some inf with it. Can't deny that cap there. You can see like we had some extra TA, we're gonna use that just to heavy RD is like the best way to deal with multiple AA in the same area that you can't shoot at with your tanks usually. You just want to drop heavy RD in there. It screws them up.
Destroyed the hostile.
Yeah, so we only have one heavy right now. We're still rocking a lot of lights. This guy's just fording. Got wrecked though.
Reinforcements are on the way.
And yeah, focusing, you know, This is a really good map for heavy tanks, so he is going to get another heavy tank, but he's still getting lots of lights because he just wants fast units that are just going to drive in here. That's what matters at this point. That's what's going to be useful to us. And one up here, because you do want this forwarded, because on Riviera especially, like, people like do massive drop wars, and this place is really easy to drop. You just airstrike and then drops on top, so I want to make sure it's forwarded so they can't just put drops there later. But only use one light tank or one inv squad. Don't leave a heavy tank up here being useless. Keep the heavies here. Alright, we're a lot of TA here to clear the caps, and then probably a light tank spawn is going to rush in here. Yeah, we just lost all our reps because they have vision back here somewhere. Maybe the air spotted them when they flew by.
You have incoming units. Be ready for them.
Yeah, so the forts are just going to slow them down. Slow the enemy team down. If there were no forts there, then air would just clear and these guys would just run on. Now it takes them a couple extra seconds, and that just stops them from getting a cap.
Reinforcements arrived at the drop zone.
Decapping there, yeah, like the light tank spam in the middle. You need fast units that are going to be able to get to these caps ASAP. You don't want a whole bunch of heavy tanks. They're too slow. You just need one back here to get ranked up and be a hassle for the enemy support. And they should be able to... I would tank buster this if I had some TA. And then I would just rush it with everything else that we have.
You have incoming units. Be ready for them.
I guess like our AA spawn is kind of fresh. Yeah, he's just trying to block this light tank right now. Just don't let that light tank get there.
Your reinforcements are on the battlefield.
Yeah, good job denying. Yeah, thankfully J-Man and this dude have it covered. It would be nice to have armor also sending one light tank up here in this situation whenever this is getting decapped or capped. Ooh. Yeah, like we need our light tank up there. I'm just gonna have to pick up the slack. He doesn't have that many units, so you know, I guess it makes sense to keep those units there, but see the next spawn. And now he's just bringing in light units. There's only 3 minutes left. More and more, like the only thing that really matters is just getting on these circles
3 minutes remaining. Your units are at the
with
coordinates now.
units quickly. So we're gonna be spamming a lot of these fast units. And at this stage of the game, it's also you're allowed to be a little bit
You need reinforcements.
more suicidal with your heavy tanks if it means that you can decap points, because we're just trying to keep this arrow over the line here. But he's still gonna pull back into this air-to-air. We'll see if it lands. This guy flared early, so might work. Yeah, I think it's gonna hit him. Nice. That was really good. Yeah, see the light tanks up here now. He's gonna pull it off because J-Man's already forwarding.
Getting closer.
We just want to help out down here. Yeah, at this point you just want light tanks. You just want to bum rush these points.
Flares deployed.
Yeah, look, exactly. We're just dropping, we're just clearing caps, and we're putting units on circles. That's all that matters.
Down the enemy.
And support, yeah, look, wait for support here. If you just, you want to be aggressive, but you also want to actually do something useful with your units. If you had just bum rushed to this top point without waiting for that 1 AA. Oh, and look. Notice how there's no inf around and there's no air units. Like that air that was just there, we cannot see that enemy air right now. So we have no idea what's going on. See what happens. So they got lucky because they didn't have a scout chopper, but they still killed the AA. So that's just an example of why you need infantry and air units around you. Like all kinds of situations where you're not going to be able to see stuff that's, unless it's like right on top of you. Especially if you're like support pop smoke, if like all your ground units pop smoke, they can't see outside of their smoke unless there's like air flying overhead or like an inf unit outside the smoke. So that's why scout choppers are really useful for the armor here.
The enemy defeated your unit. 10 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
last 10 seconds, just YOLO for some extra fun points here. So we can gloat at the end at our score. And yeah, so what you want when your armor is I think you should want to be the guy with that top command point score, because you're the guy making light tanks and kind of leading the charge for these caps. You have like the most expendable units that you can just rush in, get caps with, and you should be leading the charge. Like you're the guy going for caps. On some fun maps like farmland, like armor should be getting top damage sometimes from just shooting up AA all the time. Yeah, what have we learned? Think opening spawn, you get three light tanks, 1 heavy and a scout. Your scout just goes here and just stays up here giving your heavy tank vision, and you're gonna set your heavy tanks up here and here. Shoot, they back up when air comes, they get repaired, they get ranked up. Set a light tank here and a light tank here to cap the town in the beginning, and 1 light tank up here to get windmill. And yeah, you just kind of get your 2 heavies here, you kind of hem them in, get ranked up, then you drop the TA, and then you just spam light tanks into the center. Don't forget to bring your scout chopper back when it gets killed, so that vision is crucial. Oh, and help with drops too. We lost all our drops, but in the beginning those drops are really helpful, especially I think like Inf will probably want to focus over here with drops and some of these back forests. But I think around these forests over here, like that would be a good place for armor to help out with drops. Like sometimes armor needs to help out in town with drops when the enemy team is really pushing the town. And if they had been pushing the town and been really successful, then you gotta like send a lot of light tanks to town to get the town back. Very important. Don't just hang out over here. If they're town pushing you, you gotta send units here until they give up, until you beat them. Yeah, GG.